Before we start the video, I want to get one thing clear. If you disagree with this video, don't just leave a dislike on it. Comment. I will respond to it and we can have a nice discussion. And make sure to finish the video before commenting, because I'll probably have something to respond in the video. Aside from that, we can't exactly use a tripod right now because I can't find my tripod grip for my iPhone. So for now, you're going to have to deal with me talking into the camera like this. I'm sorry. Now, in other news, let's get into Google. So, of course, my last video was spent mostly just talking about Chrome OS and why I don't like it, right? Well, you know what else I don't like about Google's products? Most of them. The one thing I'll give from Google is the Pixel. That's a pretty cool phone. But other than that, no. And let me tell you why. Now, of course, most of these Google products are probably pretty decent, right? But what I don't like is this. I'm sick of Google attempting to be more like Apple. Let's go look at the Made by Google page, shall we? Now, the first thing you see when you open up the Google store is Google Clips. What is the purpose of this thing? It's basically this tiny little camera you can just stick on everything and expect them to trust you to just take random photos of you. What's the point of having a smart AI camera? Just get someone to hold your phone. So basically, it's the Pixel 2 camera, I suppose, with some extra stupid AI in there. And why is this thing so expensive? They could have just taken the technology and put it into a camera, and that would have been so much better. Second thing that comes up is the Pixel 2, and the Pixel 2 is the Pixel 2. You know, it's an okay phone. I had an issue with it where the microphone stopped working after 3 hours. Hopefully, the Pixel 3 fixes the design. And my issue is mostly the screen. I'm no longer really a big fan of these chunky bezels, and especially on the smaller model, because I don't like using the bigger phones. I just don't. And the XL is also way too much money. Why is it $200 above the Pixel 2? Like, the iPhone is $699 and $799, $649 and $849. It's not worth it for that price increase. Also, the screen is worse, but I think the Pixel 2 is just a worse screen. Other than that, it was pretty decent. Third is the Google Home Mini, and again, this is a decent product, but it's like, okay, whatever. I don't really know if this works within an ecosystem because you can easily link up your iPhone to it. And the last one is the Pixel Book. Yeah, and I don't like Chrome OS at all. This is not a $1,000 Chromebook. Is the worst idea ever. But what else are they showing off? Well, they're showing off two more things. The Pixel Buds. This is where I can get in. So, how about we do this, right? We make a headphone, all right? We make just a standard pair of wired headphones. We charge the exact same price as Apple's AirPods to compete with AirPods and miss the one thing that makes the AirPods $160. No wires. Now, of course, it's like, well, a wire makes it easier to keep, right? But there's a couple issues with it, all right? So let's look at the design right here. It's like this huge big thing just sticking out. Although that's probably because the fabric thing can't store battery life. Something like the Beats X has the battery in these two little parts, so it does function more like a neckband. But they made this thing super thick and super circular. And also, the way to charge them is the stupidest thing ever. And they look ugly in people's ears. But the way to charge them is absolutely horrible. You have to wrap them around the case in some weird formation and get the contacts in. But like with the AirPods, you just open the case and just stick them in. Yes, having no wire does make them easier to lose if you're clumsy like me, so I can't have another pair of AirPods. I already lost one, and I got a second pair stolen. It sucks. The Google Translate thing. I mean, you can do that with the AirPods. You can't touch and hold it, but you just double tap and bam, Siri comes up. Of course, Siri is worse than Google Assistant, whatever, but it works. Tap to play and pause, so I have to change the volume. Take it out of your ear, tell Siri, whatever, right? Made to go together. Of course, they have like the accented colors, so they have the black one for the black Pixel, the white and black, and the red accent for the Pixel 2 XL in black and white, and they have the kind of blue one, because colors. It's not gonna make you buy a product. Well, I guess it does work as a standard audio headset, but of course you can't access the Google Assistant. I mean, the thing is with the AirPods, they don't really work as well with Android. For example, you take them out of your ears, they won't stop listening. When you put them in the case, they won't disconnect. They just function like standard pair Bluetooth headphones. And that might be an issue, but it's like, what's the point of Apple trying to program it? There's no point, right? And AirPods is a selling point, just like the Pixel Buds are. But also, the translate thing doesn't really work that well. Overall, What is the point of this stupid Pixel Buds? They're trying to compete with Apple, and they're trying to make it without the biggest feature, completely cordless, completely convenient, completely seamless. So basically, yet again, Google's trying to copy Apple. That's not a bad thing for copying. It's just they're not doing it any better. They're not even doing it as good as Apple does it. Okay, what's this Daydream View thing? So apparently Google made this whole VR thing. What's so good about it? Okay, so you got this VR thing, right? And how many phones work with it, all right? How many phones work with it? Let me show you. 9 phones are supported on this thing. I mean, at the same time, yeah, it's Android, or yeah, it's iPhone doesn't have a competing alternative. But think about that. 9 devices out of so many of these devices have Daydream support. And also, why is it fabric? The fabric looks ugly. Also, they had to decrease the price because, yet again, in my opinion, no one buys this type of stuff. I don't know how many people buy this whole made by Google thing. Alright, what else? The Google Home Max is okay, right? But I just don't really like Google products that much overall. I mean, this is kind of a more clunky video than my other one because I don't really have as many points. But I'm still just annoyed at it. Like, look at these accessories. All right, so I know it's a key complaint a lot of people have with the Pixel. It doesn't come with headphones in the box. And people are like, oh, but you already have a pair. Not when they have USB-C type headphones. No one owns a pair of USB-C headphones, so it's less convenient than having to go grab out your thing. And of course, someone who's switching from iPhone to Pixel, they would have to, like I say, they're switching from like an iPhone 7 to like a Pixel 3 or something like that. They would need, since their 7 comes with lightning earbuds, they would need to have a pair of wired earbuds already available. Even then, why can't I just bring them in the box? It won't make the price any better. So what's the one pair of wired USB-C earbuds? Libratone Q Adapt USB-C headphones, $149. Seriously, why does this thing exist? What else? Pixel 2 case, fabric. It's slippery. It's kind of hard. It's kind of odd to grip, and I feel like it'll stain, just like the leather one. But the leather one is better grip. More Pixel cases. More Pixel cases. I scrolled back and I found an original Pixel case, and they basically just straight up copied the Apple silicone cases, because of course Google is trying to make an Apple-esque ecosystem, but they're not doing it right because, first off, in my opinion, nothing really connects together. There's no seamless functionality. You don't have stuff like continuity and AirDrop and that kind of stuff. You just don't have that kind of functionality. The one thing I've seen is the instant tethering thing. And it's like on the iPhone, yeah, it's cool to have it instantly when you're not disconnected, but I feel like that'll be a bit buggy. And also, you have personal hotspot ability on your control center. In my opinion, I prefer the control center to the notification bar because they have the functionality now, so there's no issue with the notification bar. And sorry about my hair today. I woke up a few hours ago. I'm on break. I'm not doing anything. Like a wall mount for your home mini? Why would you need a wall mount for your home mini? I have a home mini. I don't even use it because I have Siri. Pixel C keyboard. Why do they still sell it? Do they still sell this? Let me see here. They still sell it! A case for Daydream. Like, are you kidding me? I just don't get this whole Google thing. Okay, we have phones, home and entertainment. We have the Google Home Mini where you can like talk to the assistant. The original Google Home Mini, the Google Home doesn't really have a purpose in my opinion. Pixel 2 plus Home Mini, smarter together. Is there any reason? How is it smarter together? You can do the exact same thing. Okay. So now we have Chromecast, which they've had to decrease the price on. Chromecast, TV streaming. I have a Chromecast. It works reasonably well, but I'd rather, honestly, have the ability to use remote, which is why I prefer something like Apple TV. Now, of course, I don't care about cost, okay? Take cost out of the factor. I take cost out of the factor, and I probably shouldn't have. But like, for example, yeah, you can't exactly get an Apple thing for $30, right? What's even the point of that if your TV comes with smart TV functions? If I'm completely honest, half the time, I don't really think anyone really needs any of these sort of set-top boxes now that their TVs come. And I use FX Now a lot just to watch Simpsons because, I don't know, it's a funny show. But they don't have that on the Samsung Smart TV, so I would have to have something like an Xbox or something around, or even a Chromecast, but like, I don't know. Oh, Chromecast audio. I do not like Chromecast audio. Now, Chromecast audio. Okay, here's my biggest. Okay, going off topic. My biggest issue with the home mini is the fact that it doesn't have a headphone jack, and let me explain why. We bought a Bose stereo, pretty expensive one, but it's not really. A long time ago, and we just kept it in the garage. I took it out and I put an Amazon Echo Dot in it. Now, you can't exactly plug the home mini into this thing. There's just no headphone port. And even then, the home mini can't even connect to Bluetooth. So if I really wanted to use the home mini for some reason over Alexa, and honestly, Alexa's pretty decent, I would say. Oh, it just heard me. Okay, it stopped. But the Amazon Echo is generally pretty decent, I'd say. But other than that, there really isn't much to say. I know this is kind of a long, unfiltered ramble of Google, but seriously. Oh, also, how do you feel when they straight up stopped selling the Google Pixel in stores? Like, you look at the store, you can only get Pixel 2 and its accessories. That is it. Think about that for a second. They just got rid of their first generation after a year and a half. Now I asked them, it's like, if you want Google, like, Apple keeps their support, right? Because apparently Android One's a thing, right? But think about this, right? You want Google to support their phones. Of course, they'll probably support the Pixel with a year or two more of software updates. But think about that. Why would they just get rid of the thing after a year and a half support when on Apple's website you can buy an iPhone 6s for, you can still get one, probably for a little too much, but at the same time, you can get a 6s still, the oldest iPhone, and you can also get an SE for even cheaper. So I don't really get that point. Now, of course, Google's trying to be premium. I don't really think so, that they should be doing that. The rest of Android can just be non-premium like the rest of the budget phones, and Google doesn't really have to do that, but I'd rather they just stick to their guns. The Nexus lineup was pretty decent. It was a pretty decent thing, and you could think about all the kinks in the software and stuff because of the fact that it was cheaper. Now, I guess the Pixel 2 did solve a good amount of this type of stuff, but at the same time, there's still going to be some kind of flaw, some sort of quality control flaw with the Pixel 2 XL or whatever, and you shouldn't have to have that on a $700 or more phone. And that's my main thing. I just don't think there's enough really there. It's just flawed at this point. The Pixel phones are just flawed at this point. They have some flaws, and for this type of price, they really shouldn't have it. If they're trying to go big, they have to do it well. I am hoping for the Pixel 3 to fix stuff. If so, I might make the jump because I do like Google software a decent amount. I like Android, not much more than iOS, but probably a bit more. I like their assistant. Their camera is really good. There's a lot to like about that phone. I'm not exactly an Android hater. I just really haven't had one that was that good. The Pixel was that one, and I didn't want to instantly throw it out or anything. But at the same time, I usually go for an Android phone, then return after like a week, because there's always something that makes me want to go back to iPhones. I hope Pixel will be it. I want to see what's up. Sometimes the grass might be greener on the other side, sometimes it might not be. You just have to wait and see. But I just think that Google just doesn't really make that good of products anymore. To make it justifiable as making a whole ecosystem. They don't really work together. A lot of them are overpriced. And what do you get with these type of stuff with this that you don't get with Apple? You get practically nothing. And of course, if you have a grudge against Apple, if something really bad happened to you or your iPhone suddenly caught on fire or something like that, well, you understand why I don't like it, but like, what's the point of getting part of something worse, a worse ecosystem or whatever, because of principle? Google's ecosystem just isn't there yet. Nothing works together. A lot of it's flawed. Did I mention the Pixel Buds were pretty flawed in their execution? They just need to do some work, and they need to do some heavy work on their whole thing, get everything to work together. And Google is not posing a threat to Apple in the slightest, in my opinion. So that's all I have to say. I hope everyone has a great day. This is going to be one hell of a video to edit, because I'm just rambling on. But yeah, have a good day.